Never going down, don't wait for the drop. Never stand still, that's the motto. Yeah, brand new bands for the...
Kamila Valieva thanked the audience for their support at the show program tournament in Moscow. Today, the figure skater took 10th place in the tournament, but received the audience award. She performed in the form of a shaman. We have finished our show programs. Thank you all, especially our wonderful viewers. I got the Audience Choice Award and I'm incredibly happy about it. Also our favorite fan group, thank you very much. Just thank you. Valieva said in a video on her Telegram channel. Anna Shcherbakova thanked the audience for their support. Thank you to everyone who was with us, supported us all. Thanks to all skaters. This is a huge honor for me. The prize is a pleasant end to the day. Great experience, Shcherbakova said. Alina Zagitova responded to people who critically assessed her indicative number. The figure skater performed in the image of Marilyn Monroe at the show program's tournament. In general, guys, I got myself together, calmed down, gathered all my thoughts together, and am ready to share them with you. I am very happy because I showed a completely new image for myself. I think that it was unusual for many to look at me like that, but you need to try something new, move on. Today I went blonde. It's okay, I'm a brunette again, so don't worry. I also want to say a huge thank you to those people who supported me today. You energize, I can't even explain how important it is to me. I was very happy to see everyone today. And about the fact that the number does not suit me. Well, hello to all well-wishers. And good night. I love you. Zagitova said, blowing a kiss. Elizaveta Nugumanova believes that many bright athletes did not make it to the show program tournament. The idea of the tournament itself is cool, but the thing is that not everyone could get into this tournament. There are many bright and talented athletes who did not want to take. I know that many sent applications for participation, but they were refused. The decision is made by the FFKR, nothing new for me. Everything as usual. By the numbers I can mention Matvey Vetlagin, Lena Radionova, Mark Kondratyuk, couples, Sinitsina Katsalapov, Mishina Galyamov, Kaganovskaya Angelopol. It was really great. I want to note that a lot of money was allocated for costumes, but when they go out in shirts for 5 kopecks, this should not happen on television. Nugumanova said, the show program tournament ended the season in Russian figure skating, and its format did not cause rejection at all. Rather, on the contrary, the largely spontaneous event showed how Russian figure skating can exist in the future. But first, the main impressions of the almost 4-hour broadcast on Channel 1 on Saturday's prime time. Perhaps the most important characteristic of a tournament is that it is dynamic. Yes, the structure is still reminiscent of the endless ice ages. The pauses between the numbers look drawn out, Dmitry Krustalev's entertainer was superficial, and the commentator Alexander Grishin could have been replaced without loss of quality. These are rather the costs of television production from the first, who got his hand on the ice broadcasts, and not curly product. Agree, even without ultra elements, show programs from real athletes look completely different than television collabs with stars, and destroy all the cliches of the ice ages. Awkwardness for partners, dominance of props, plot and verbal drag. Each next issue was intriguing with heroes, many of whom were missed, ideas, embodiment, and the rejection of boring jury speeches. Short program format and chaotic refereeing are cool moves that improve perception. The competitive effect, even in such a light mode, is a serious trigger for the tournament, under the roof of which it was possible to gather the entire figure elite of the last decades. Whom did you miss? Plashenko? Lipnitskaya? Sotnikova? Trusova? We are used to seeing the stars of the past in stamped New Year's performances, which are more about business and earnings than about art, let alone competition. The fans, in fact, had no choice. It was impossible to see their favorite skater on the ice without a ticket for another Scarlet Beauty. The second option with figure festivals looked too abstract to be sure of it. Will it take place? Will they call? Will they put a new program under it? But figure skating is not Christmas trees. This is sport, elements, rivalry. And also points and places. No, the scores definitely did not become a system-forming force, as happens at the Olympics or World Championships, but they added intrigue and consistency to the skates. Of course, the rules do not seem to be perfect yet, but so far there is definitely nothing to be offended by the arbitrators, for they judged based on their tastes, knowledge and ideas about ideal figure skating. And they probably chose the one they knew best. But the names of the winners today are secondary knowledge. More importantly, what seemed like a strange experiment from a distance seems to have become the main event of the season. For a moment, transport yourself to the competitive part of the outgoing season. You remember a lot, but still, women are dominated by two 15-year-old figure skaters with ultra-content Sofia Akativa and Adelia Petrosyan, next to whom there is no one older than 17 years old. Except for Liza Tiktamasheva, of course. And the heroes of the Olympics, Shcherbakov, Trusova, Valieva, each in their own way fights with their body. Someone is on the ice, someone is already off. There is fierce competition in men's single skating, but there is absolutely no stability, and most importantly, charisma. The last skater the whole country knew was still Evgeny Plashenko. Multi-way combinations and dances led to the fact that of the remaining duets, the one that is more systematic and most often falls wins. Three world-class top pairs are generally of little interest to anyone. The stands are the most difficult to fill during pairs rentals, not to say that they are packed in other types, and in the broadcasts of the first, they try not to notice. Let's be honest, this season, Russian figure skating has become more boring. And it's not just the lack of international tournaments. The problem is also that the top skaters have less and less motivation to skate further. The reasons could be different: money, competition, training, injuries, but tournaments without stars, who are touring with performances at that time, lose their status, attention, sense. It so happened that for the majority of figure skaters with a name, ice shows are more profitable, more convenient and calmer than tournaments, a new reality that cannot be ignored. Perhaps it is in such show tournaments that the future of Russian figure skating is. There are tools to become attractive to everyone: skaters, spectators, sponsors, and they are generally simple. This format can get a good budget. The prize fund of the first tournament inspired hundreds of skaters to apply. The idea is interesting to the audience. They will see their favorite athletes with new programs in a competitive mode. Television is also in the black. Never before has Pervy allocated 4 hours for figure skating on Saturday prime time. Here, probably, the maximum concentration of stars. There are not so many in any country in the world. It is strange that before they were seen only as ballet dancers on ice and bait on posters, turning the figure skaters into a museum exposition ahead of time. Yes, there are 1,000 reasons why to plunge Zagitova, Medvedeva or Shcherbakova into a regular figure skating federation tournament against Akativa or Petrosyan is a meaningless dream. But it turned out that there is a way to keep them on the ice. Perhaps this is a chance not to be missed even when Russian skaters are returned to world tournaments.